Romania sided with Germany during World War II for a very simple reason. All the time in all our history, which is longer than 2000 years ago, as I told you, we try to keep all our territories between the same frontiers. In this moment, we have this situation minus 33%. Republic of Moldova, it's a Romanian territory occupied by the Soviets in the 40s, as I will tell you. In Ukraine, we have another Romanian territory which is there. And in Hungary a little bit, and in Serbia a little bit, and in Bulgaria a little bit. So all our neighbors have a small piece from our original territory. That's why we used to say that our safest neighbor, it's the Black Sea, because no, doesn't attack us anytime. So when the World War II started for us like this. Germany, Hitler with Horthy, the leader of Hungary, they decided that northwest of Transylvania have to go to Hungary. Our king from that time, Carol II, accepted it, and when the Hungarians entered in the northwest of Transylvania to occupy that territory, they've done the same type of massacres like the Serbians done in Bosnia or in Croatia during the war from 1991. So, which is a remember that we couldn't forget too easy. After 1 month from this moment, Stalin sent us another ultimatum, and he said, "I want the Republic of Moldova for me." And our king, Carol II, the same, said, "Yes, you can have it." As a small parenthesis, our king, it was a playboy king, preoccupied mostly by the ladies than to rule the country. So when Hitler came to us and asked the general of the Romanian army, Ion Antonescu, which was the leader of the state, because our next king, the son of Carol II, Michael I, it was underage. It was 17 years old. He said to Hitler, "Yes, we'll go with you against Russia because we doesn't have the Russians at all. Soviets, as you imagine, we don't love them. So we go with you over the Russians to get back the Republic of Moldova, our territory." So that's why we were allies with Hitler. So we go to Soviet Union in June 22nd, 1941. We liberate Republic of Moldova, but we made the big mistake to cross the river Dnieper, which was the border between our territory, Republic of Moldova, and the Soviet Union. So we go to Stalingrad. You know, all of you, what's happened there to Stalingrad. The Russians won. We and the Germans left, and the Russians start to push us back. And in that moment, we realized that we could lost everything if we don't switch sides. So the king on a side and Ion Antonescu, the marshal of the army, on the other side, starting to have treaties with the allies to switch sides. And the condition it was, of course, to recover our northwest of Transylvania from the Hungarians, a Republic of Moldova from Stalin. And then Stalin told us the next thing: I will help you to take back the northwest of Transylvania, which for us is the womb of our nation, like Kosovo is for the Serbs, but you have to let me, in exchange, Republic of Moldova. So we do the treat, we do the exchange, and in August 23rd, 1944, we switch sides against the Germans with the Allies. And this switch sides, it was a very good thing for the war, because we shorted the war with about 6 months. Because we have the Carpathians, which are surrounding Transylvania like a wall, and if the Germans with us were starting to resist on the passes of the Carpathians, it was very difficult for the Russians to pass us, and that's why I said that our movement, our switch sides from August 1944, was shorted the war, the Second World War, with about 6 months. So we go with the Russians over the Germans to Berlin. We stopped in Czechoslovakia because this was the order of the Soviets. The bad part for us, it was that on the Yalta Treaty, when Mr. Churchill, Mr. Roosevelt, and Stalin was meeting together to split Europe between them, Mr. Churchill and Mr. Roosevelt said that Romania have to be on the side of the Russians together with all the other countries, and we remained for about 45 years under the domination of the Soviets. And for the country like Romania, which was against the communism, with long democratic and monarchic tradition, that was very bad. I will not say broken promises, Diane, because Roosevelt and Churchill have two armies which was very tired after a very long war. And to put your army to fight again against the Soviets, it was very difficult, and I'm not very convinced that the British and the Americans will accept to fight against the ally, till that moment the Soviets, to liberate the East Europe. That was the situation there. And as I told you, an old nation like ours, since 2,000 years ago, we saw a lot of things during of the time. We lost territories, we take it back after 100 years, after 50 years, and we are still here. So that's why I can't be very mad on the British and on the Americans for doing this, because I understand them somehow. Even that the generation of my grandparents, they lived all their lives with the hope that the Americans will come and will liberate them from the Russians, from the Soviets. But that's history, it's in the past, and now we finally are together with the Americans, with the British, with the French, with all the Occidental Europe, in European Union, in NATO, and we are for the first time in the last 2,000 years protected. We are feeling protected being part of NATO and European Union, because it's something that doesn't happen till this moment in our history. So that's the story. That's why we joined Germany in the World War II, not because we like the ideas of that crazy guy called Adolf Hitler, but because we try to recover our territories and to keep our territories between the same frontiers. It's the story of our lives. You're welcome, Robert. And if you have other questions, I wait for it. And what can I say? I've told you about the weddings. With the baptism, it's pretty much the same thing. It's like a smaller wedding, because the people which are attending, if on a wedding, could be 150 to 200 people for the party. On a baptism of a child will be like 80, 100 people. And the child is baptized in the Greek Orthodox religion at 40 days after the birth. So actually, after 40 days, we are going to the church. It's a beautiful